listen to Wednesday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic on a huge day for the channel. For today is the day when our Kickstarter campaign launches. This is to create, let me show you, it's to create our second book, Cracking the Cryptic's Greatest Hits Volume 2. There is some draft artwork there you can see, a couple of puzzles revealed that we hope to include in the book, but we can only make the book with your help. So if you do want to see this come to fruition, we would be so grateful. I'll put a link on the screen now, and I'll put a link under the video to the Kickstarter page where you can browse some of the things we have planned, including, I really hope, the video of Mark playing Dance Dance Revolution, which would probably be the greatest thing on YouTube. But anyway, the most important thing is that we get to make this book and to showcase these wonderful, wonderful puzzles by these incredible constructors. So yeah, do check it out. And yeah, we'd love to have your help. And well, who better to celebrate the launch of a Kickstarter with than the great Ard van der Wetering from the Netherlands, the world's most famous Sudoku constructor. And today Ard has sent us a puzzle called Thermodynamics, I guess because of all the thermometers in the grid. And this puzzle, I am told by the testers, is an awful lot easier than the Rocky Rower puzzle I had to do yesterday, which not only had no given digits, it only had question marks outside the grid and some unmarked killer cages. An extraordinary puzzle though, so check that one out if you've not had a go at that, because that is one of the all-time great puzzles, and well, actually I will certainly be canvassing for it to be included in the book if we get to do the book. But I'll read you the rules of Ard's Thermodynamics in a moment or two. I firstly need to congratulate some of you who have managed to solve the Duality Sudoku Hunt over on Patreon at the moment. I will tell you that the names I'm about to read out sent in their correct solutions 6 days ago. So that gives you an idea of how far behind I am and how absolutely brilliant so many of you are who have managed to solve all of those puzzles, 14 of them, and they're not easy. So that is absolutely brilliant. Well done, David Vance, Dr. Spangle, Nathan Hines, Andrew Skelton, Virgil Middendorf, Aaron Colley, Jeff Leitch, I think, Jeff Frank, Maddie Capoloni, Chris Daniels, Andre Beausoleil, Matt Lahoot, or could be Lahut, Kenneth Kirkpatrick. Oh, there's some wonderful names today. Monty Cullum, I think that might be how you say that. I hope it is. And Jamil Haidar Ahmad as well. All of you sent in the correct solution. Very well done. And the only other thing I have to mention today is some birthdays. I want to start off with JV, who has turned 9 today. Now, JV, I know this because your daddy James wrote to us, and he told me that you do the puzzles in our Arrow Sudoku app to help you with your maths, and I have to say that is absolutely startling. That there is a youngster out there who presumably must have started doing these puzzles at the age of 8. That's incredible, JV. It is incredible. So we hope you have a brilliant day today, and I hope lots of cake, obviously. Next, Leon Zhang, you have turned 30, the big 3-0 today. And I know this because we had a lovely email from your girlfriend Sandy where she revealed that you often spend date night together watching Cracking the Cryptic videos. Well, I can think of no better date than that. That's absolutely fantastic. So well done to Leon and to Sandy, and I wish you all the best today as well. And then Liam, not far from me, I guess, in Kent, you've turned 20 today, and I know this because we had a really cool email from your boyfriend Connor. Connor, actually, thank you for your email. It was absolutely stellar. And then finally, Meshel, you've turned 24 today, and I wish you many happy returns as well. All that said and done, let's have a look at the rules to Thermodynamics by Ard and see what the great man has got in store for us. The rules are as follows. Normal Sudoku rules apply. Digits may not repeat along a main diagonal marked in blue. So we've got to include one of the digits 1 to 9 in each of these cells without a repeat, and one of the digits 1 to 9 in the positive diagonal as well. And along thermometers, digits must increase from the bulb end. So let's have a look at this thermometer. If we made this a 3, this cell would have to be higher than 3. We've got to increase as we move up the thermometer, just as mercury would increase as the temperature rose. Now, this doesn't have to be 4, though. You can skip digits out, so it could be 5, 7, 9, something like that. Not 5, 7, 8. That won't work from Sudoku perspective. But 3, 5, 7, 9 is absolutely a way of filling that 4-cell thermo. Now, do have a go at the puzzle. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. Now I get to play. Let's get cracking. And the first thing I'm seeing here is it's a good job I'm doing this puzzle, because if Mark was doing it, just think how long it would take him to highlight all of the possible options for all of those digits. The answer is a long time. And I'm not going to do that. I am going to instead use the power of 9s, I think, to place a digit. So you can place a 9 in this grid immediately. And the way to work out how to do that is to appreciate a quality about thermometers. So can you ever put a 9 in the bulb of a thermo? And the answer is no, because if you do, the next digit up the thermo is problematic from a Sudoku perspective, because it's got to be bigger than 9, and you can't have any digits bigger than 9. So in this diagonal, I think there's only one place to put a 9, and that's in the corner, which doesn't get a song, but it does get, or it does give a little bit of joy at getting a digit so quickly. Now, what about 8 then? Can we do 8? We can, well, certainly I can't put 8 in those cells because we'd quickly run out of room. 8, 9, 10, that would be an 11 at least, which is not going to work. Right, yeah, okay, this is fine. So this can't be 8 because 9, that would be a 10. This can't be 8 because that would then be a 9 and clash. So there is an 8 in the corner. And I don't know whether to look at 7s on this diagonal to try and do some Sudoku all of a sudden. Let's just check Sudoku. Okay, 9 isn't that useful. I can't put 9 there because this would be a 10. It looks like 9's got 3 possible places. Right, and I can't put 8 here, look, because 8 would require a 9 at the end of the thermo, and that would clash. So 8 is also restricted in box 3, I think, to one of 3 places, which is not magnificent, is it? Okay, so I don't know where to look now. Is it 7s on this diagonal? We've been working our way down. Actually, 7 can't go there, look, because that can't be a higher digit than 7, because 8 and 9 have gone in the box. And actually, I'm seeing now that can't be 7, because that can't be 9. If this was 7, you'd have to go 8, 9, and you'd get a clash in row 1. These 3 definitely can't be 7, because these are at least 4-cell thermos, so we'd run out of room at 9 here, and this would have to be a double-digit number. So 7 is in one of those. Oh, right, 7 is in one of those 2 places, and it's not here, because that would be an 8 or a 9. So 7 gets placed in box 9, and 7 in this position on a 3-cell thermo must be followed by 8 and 9. That gets me the 9 in box 3. No, it doesn't get me the 8. But 9 now in box 2 is interesting because we can't put it partially along a thermo. So that's got to be 9. 9 in box... yeah, and 9 in box 5 can't go partially along a thermo either. So I think 9 is locked into the corner. So 9 in box 8 has to be in one of 2 places. So Maverick flies over, obviously giving a fly past because of the Kickstarter campaign starting. Thank you, Maverick. Oh, hang on. Now, what I haven't thought about is 9 or anything indeed on this diagonal yet. So 9 is locked into one of 2 places in box 7. 8? Can 8 go on this diagonal? Oh, I see. Right. No, in fact, let's actually ask a more general question. I said let's. I did not say Alex. She always tries to butt in. Sorry. Anyway, let's think about where... Oh, I almost... See, it didn't set her off that time. But where does 8 go on this diagonal? Now, I don't think I can put 8 anywhere along that thermometer, because it can't go in the tip, and if I put it anywhere else, we'd have to have a 9 in the tip, and that can't work. So 8 is in one of those two cells in box 7, which is actually not that helpful, is it? Oh, I see. Have I got 6 9s? Yeah, okay. And look, if you look at that little pattern of 9s there, we're never going to be able to resolve this by just thinking about 9s. The way that we're going to have to, because if this was a 9, this would be a 9, and that would be a 9. And the other way round is like that. So in order to break this pattern up, we're going to need another digit to come and interrupt the flow of 9s in one of these boxes. And I'm not sure what digit that's going to be. I think we've got a couple of options now. Perhaps the first option should be to think about 6 down this diagonal, shouldn't it? Let's try that, because we actually got a lot further than I thought by going 9 8 7. So 6. Oh, okay. So 6 can go there, unfortunately. 6 7 6 6 7 8. That works as well. So actually 6 can go in those two places. Can 6 go here? 7 8 9. No, 6 can't go in this one because that can't be a 9. 6 can't go in that one because that would be a 9, and 6 definitely can't go in this one because this is a 5-cell thermo, and that would need to be a 10. Ah, right, that can't be 6, look, because there is no higher digit available. 7, 8 and 9 have disappeared from the box. Whoa, I tried to delete that and ended up switching to letters. I did not mean to do that. So 6 on this diagonal is restricted. It's restricted into one of those two cells. And unfortunately, I don't think we can say much more than that, can we? So if that's 6, that's 7. If that's 6, that's 8, 8. No. Okay, that's fairly straightforward actually. That is not 8. Because if that's 8, where do you put 8 in box 2 now? And the answer is, I think, nowhere. It would have to go in one of these two cells. Well, it can't be lower than itself on its own thermo, because that definitely breaks the rules of thermometers. And it can't go there, look, because that would have to be a 9. So that's not 8, which means that's 8. Which means 8 is in one of these cells. Can it go? Oh yes, 6, 7, 8. So actually that's done diddly squat. Oh bobbins, right. Okay, here's something though. Because there's a 6 in one of those cells, there is a 7 in one of those cells. And that's mildly interesting, I think, for those digits. Because none of those can be a 7 now, because if you did try and put 7 here, for example, you're ruling 7 out of both of those cells, which means it's actually impossible to put 6 in either of those positions on this diagonal. There would be nowhere for 6 on that diagonal, which is weird. But that's quite Ard-esque, actually, because it's sort of elegant and tricky. Now, let's think about that then. If we can't put 7 in purple, where can we put 7 in row 1? Not there. Not there, look, because there's a little 7 hiding in the corner down there that looks at the top cell of the grid. What about there? Can that be 7? If that was 7, that would have to be 7, and that would have to be 6, and that would have to be 7. Oh dear. Okay, so that might be possible actually. So maybe it's not this. Maybe I thought that would do something, but it doesn't seem to. 7 seems to be able to go here, here, here. Ah, okay, it's got 3 positions, so forget that. That's not what we're meant to do. But when I was looking at that 7, I noticed it hit this cell, which means this cell. I mean, it has to be a high number because it's the 5th cell along its thermometer, so it's at least a 5. But it can't be 7, it can't be 8, and it can't be 9. So that cell is a 5 or a 6 in the corner. And therefore we can sort of just ease our way down the thermo with just 2 options each cell. Now, what, if anything, does that do? I don't know is the short answer. Can we do any better than that? Well, okay, what we can do in this box is think about low digits now, can't we? Because those can't be especially low. Oh, in fact, where does 3 go? Ah, that's it. Right, that's it. Where does 3 go in this box? And I say that because I was thinking about where 1 and 2 go in this box. And I definitely can't put 1 and 2 in those cells because if you try and put 2 here, this will be 1, this will be 0, and this will be negative, and that's just not going to work. So 1 and 2 go in those cells. And now, where does 3 go in this box? And the answer is not on a 4-cell thermo, or certainly not at the tip, in the tip of a 4-cell thermo, because again, these are going to be 0. So 3 must go in the corner, but not in a position that gets a song. That's a 2, that's a 1, and we are... Well, I was about to say we're cooking with gas. We're very far from cooking with gas. But it's at least given us some digits. Okay, but now those thermos have got to be starting with at least 3s, don't they? So 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so that's... Okay, well that is helpful, I think. Have I messed this up, or is this a... Does that mean these have to be a 6, 7 pair? And that has to be a 5 in the corner? I think so. Because these squares can't be less than 3. These can't be less than 4. These can't be less than 5. These can't be less than 6. So these have to be a 6, 7 pair, which means that's got to be a 5 in the corner. That's got to be a 4. And I think that means these have to be a 3, 4 pair. Because if we go any higher than that, we're going to push these digits up into the 8s and 9s of this world. And that's too large. So if we try 5 here, 6, 7, yeah, we go too high. So we actually... okay, so we now know these 2 digits. They are 6 and 8 on the positive diagonal because they're the digits we've not placed. And that might matter because... I don't know. What should we do now? We could ask about... I don't know where to look. I want to use my 7s here somehow, but I don't... Oh, hang on, that's not 7. Just do Sudoku. There you go. 6 has got to go there, 7's got to go there. Now, does that let me use my 7s? No, it doesn't. Well... Whatever digit it was over there that I thought could be 7 clearly can't be 7 anymore. Those can't be 7. So 7 in row 1 is in one of those 2 positions. But I think there are 2 options there. Oh, so 7, right, okay, so 7 in box 2 has now got 2. Oh, no, it hasn't. That's lovely. That is lovely. So it's this whole pattern is sort of bouncing around in strange ways. But now because 7 in the top row is up there, that can't be 7 because it would be less than 6 and it would be beneath it on the thermo. Well, 7 is greater than 6, but it was lower than it on the thermo, which is a paradox, which we can't have. So that's going to have to be 7, which means that must be 8 because it can't be 9. And if that's 7, does that mean that's 6? Does that mean that's 6, or do we not know? Oh, I see how we do this. Right, we do this by thinking about where 6 goes in box 2. Because it can't go in those cells by Sudoku, and it definitely can't go on its own thermo. So 6 is in one of those 2 positions, which means it's not here, which means that's better actually, because getting the 6 here means that's got to be the 7. And so that got me 2 digits for the price of 1. I'd only have got 1 digit if this was a 6. This 6 is giving me the 6 and the 8, which finishes off this diagonal. So we're not doing that badly now. I've virtually done this diagonal as well. I've not put 2 and 5 into it. So let's put those in and see if we can see anything as a result of that. 8 in this box has to be in one of 2 places by Sudoku. Right, that's useful. That means, where does 8 go in box 4? Now, it's actually got to go on top of a pencil mark 9. And in taking the position of the 9 here, we can therefore place the 9 and unwind our earlier pattern. So all of those get filled in. We've now done all our 9s. We can do all our 8s, because that's got to be the position of the 8 in box 8, which means that's the 8. And now there are 9 8s in the grid. Let's do 7s. Can't put 7 on its own thermo, so that's got to be 7. 7's in one of these 2 cells, which means it's in one of those 2 cells. Oh no, that's a 7. Again, I saw a... Why do I never see the black digits? It's because I hardly ever get given them. So, yeah, and this keeps going. So that's 7 now, which means that's 7. All the 7s are done. So let's try 6s. So now we can... Oh, can we do 6 in... Oh, right, I see something we can do now. This 6 is interesting, because how could this be a 5? If this is a 5, this needs to be higher than 5, and it couldn't be. It can't be 7, 9 and 8 from the column, or 6 from the row, so that's got to be 2. That's got to be 5. That's got to be 5 by Sudoku. 6, 5. Oh, this is forced. This has got to be 6, 5, 4, 3. That's got to be 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's been available for some time, so apologies if you've been cross with me for not immediately filling all that in. But it's not going absolutely dreadfully, is it? We have at least made some progress. Where does 5 go? In row 4. It's got to go there. So those 2 squares are, I think, a 1, 4 pair, which means these 2 squares are a 2, 3 pair, and I've got a 3 here. So 3 and 2 go into the grid. This cell is a 1 or a 4. This is higher than 2, and it's not 5. Oh, and it's not 6, so it's 4, I think. I think that's all it can be. Let's just double check that. It can be 4. It can't be 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, that's got to be 4. That fixes the 4 and the 1 and the 1 and the 2. So this becomes a 1. We need 3, 5. Oh, we need a 6 in this box and a 3, 5 pair. So let's put those in and see if that'll help us to learn the ways of the world. So these are 3, 4 and 5. That's not 5. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not 5. These might be able to be 5. That one's not 4. That one's not 3. Okay. What about those 2 squares then? 5 and 6. Yes. So that's 5. That's 6. That's 3. That's 4. That's 5. I'm not so sure. This isn't starting to go now. This is a 2, 6 pair. We can do that. This is a 1, 4 pair. We can do that. Where should we look now? Should we try this row? 1, 3, 5. That's a 1 or a 3. That is, that's got all the options. Okay. And in the bottom row, we haven't put 2 in yet. So we need to put 2, 3 and 5. And that's not 5. Okay, so we're doing well, but we haven't finished. 1 can be placed in this box here. And we need 2, 3 and 6. So that's 2. That's 3. That's 6. And that means that's 2, which is good. That places 2 in the bottom row. Let's fill that in. Get left with a 3, 5 pair, and we need 1, 3 and 4 at the top. So 4 goes into that cell. I don't know if I can do the 1 and the 3. That's got to be a 1, 3 or a 5, and 1 and 5 look at it. So this is 3. This is 5, this is 3, this is 5, this is 1, this is 3, this is 3, this is 1. And I think we're getting there. 2 and 6 go in. And we need a 4 and a 1. And that, I think, is how to solve our puzzle. Beautiful. As usual from the great man, that is what he does. He just gives you a great deal of joy. And it's not normally, you know, the most taxing Sudoku you've ever solved, but it has elegance to it, and that is a sublime thing. So I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you had a go. Let me know in the comments. I do enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And check out the Kickstarter, and we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.